Jay Cutler and the Chicago Bears need help. And they need to win today as they take on the Arizona Cardinals, but they're not getting that help because the Minnesota Vikings defeated the Houston Texans on the road 23-6, which means the Bears have to win or face elimination. And yes, it's come down to this. Dick Stockton along with John Lynch, and it is no longer a cliche must win, is it, John?
No, it's not, and Lovie Smith knows that. Although we met with Lovie Smith yesterday, he was confident, he was relaxed. He shared with us early in the year we lost to Green Bay. What did we do? We won 6 straight. We just lost to Green Bay. If we win 6 straight, we're going to be hoisting the Lombardi Trophy. He shared that with his team last night. The equation for the Bears for success offensively, Brandon Marshall's been great all year. Somebody else has to emerge. Defensively, it's all about the takeaways. For the Arizona Cardinals, defense all year long. They've been outstanding in the midst of a tough year. They've got to come to the party today. Ryan Lindley in his 4th start, he's got to play well. He's got to manage the football. Great matchup between Brandon Marshall, Patrick Peterson. This should be a fun one, Dick.
And you're right. The Cardinals started 4-0. They lost their next 9. But when they beat Detroit, coming off a 58-0 Seattle thrashing, Ken Wisenhunt says that showed a little character of his team there. And let's see if they have it today as they try to upset the Chicago Bears.
And for Lovie Smith and the Bears, Dick, you see the 7-1 start. It's all about the takeaways. 28 takeaways. That led to the wins. 1-5 since, only 9 takeaways. The points go down. Must win for the Bears. That's what it's all about.
The Bears won the toss and they deferred, and the Cardinals will receive first. Olindo Mare will be kicking off, and Larod Stevens Howling with a returnable kick 2 yards in the end zone. And Stevens Howling brings it out just beyond the 20-yard line. So Ryan Lindley making his 4th start of the year, coming off his first victory, but still with no touchdowns to show in 141 pass attempts, John.
Well, this is a guy that didn't get a lot of reps in training camp. He's learning on the run. When he does it right, it looks pretty good. He's got to do it right more often for the Cardinals to be successful.
First down at the 20. Lindley to throw on first down and overthrows Andre Roberts. Cardinals offense statistically worst in the league, and what is glaring is that they haven't scored a touchdown through the air in more than 5 games.
Yeah, that's hard to fathom when you've got a guy like Larry Fitzgerald, but if you don't have it at the quarterback position, it's tough to get in the end zone. The 2 rookie tackles, Nate Potter, Bobby Massey, they have solidified this line, playing better of late.
2nd and 10, they give it to Beanie Wells. And Wells, who scored 3 touchdowns to match a career high against the Lions, picks up 3.5, with Nick Roach, the middle linebacker, making the tackle. Brian Urlacher, again inactive, and Geno Hayes starting at the strong side spot. It'll be 3rd down and 6, and a big loss. Henry Melton missing his 2nd game in a row with the clavicle injury.
Bears, Lovie Smith and Rod Marinelli, the defensive coordinator, both said they would be aggressive on the rookie quarterback early. Watch for the blitz.
3rd down and 6, and here they come, and the pass is caught by Fitzgerald, and he'll get a first down. Tillman was defending, and a gain of 8 yards and a first down to the 32.
Well, they did not disappoint. They came with the blitz. But up front, you see College on Peppers, a good pocket for Ryan Lindley, and he delivers a strike to Larry Fitzgerald, matched up on Charles Tillman, who's having an outstanding season.
That's a great matchup today, and there you see Fitzgerald at the top of your picture with Tillman defending him. Larod Stevens Howling now, and then the pitch goes to Stevens Howling, and he breaks a couple of tackles and just about gets to the line of scrimmage. Israel Adonijah, who is starting in place of Melton up front for the Bears, makes the tackle.
The Bears traditionally a somewhat passive defense in terms of they don't blitz that often. They do it with their front 4. Today, look for them to be a little bit more aggressive in terms of coming after Lindley, showing him some different looks, pressure by hitting people, also by showing him a variety of looks.
Wells is back in and running back, 2nd down and 10. In motion is Fitzgerald into the slot, and there is a slant to Roberts, and a penalty marker is down. And they have picked up the flag, so no penalty there. It'll be 3rd down and 10 at the 31-yard line. We saw Lindley against the Rams in his first start, John, and he had a rough game, threw 3 interceptions, 2 for a pick six, and really harassed by the Rams defense.
He's got the talent. He can make all the throws. He's got a sense of timing. This is all new to him. We'll see how he responds today.
3rd down and 10. You know, the Bears disguising their defense, going underneath to Andre Roberts, tackled by Tim Jennings, and what a return and a boost for the man who leads the NFL with 8 interceptions. So it's 4th down after getting 1 first down, and the Cardinals will kick.
Jennings is an excellent football player.
And there is Devin Hester, who returned a punt 83 yards for a touchdown the last time.
And there's Patrick Peterson.
These teams played in 06. And Devin Hester brings it on beyond the 30-yard line. And Anthony Sherman makes the tackle.
And this is something you don't see. You don't see Patrick Peterson, arguably your best player, as a gunner on the punt coverage team. But they have that much respect for Devin Hester. They're going to put him out there. Patrick Peterson at least slows Hester up. They do a good job of corralling Hester.
So, John, this is a game where the athletes are going to be on the field. Offense, defense, special teams.
Absolutely. And you've got 2 of the most talented returners in the history of games, Devin Hester and Patrick Peterson, who announced his presence to the NFL last year with 4 punt returns for touchdowns.
Keep in mind, we have a strong Chicago contingent here in Arizona, and they have already been heard when the team took the field in practice. Here is Cutler avoiding a sack and going deep for Brandon Marshall, who is covered by Patrick Peterson downfield. Also there was Kerry Rhodes, the free safety, going deep on the first play.
Well, and the pressure's put on by Adrian Peterson, who's going to rush right through Matt Forte. That causes Butler to get to the side. Patrick Peterson and Brandon Marshall, what a tremendous matchup. All day long, Patrick Peterson's going to be shadowing Marshall, who has 107 receptions coming into today.
2nd down and 10. 3 wide receivers, 2 on the left. Matt Forte, the running back. Play action for Cutler. And Cutler again going deep, and open was Marshall, but the ball went through him. And the pass incomplete, bringing up 3rd and 10.
See Cutler on the play action. Doesn't really hold the linebackers. He moves around in the pocket and throws errantly to Brandon Marshall.
Third down and 10 for the Bears. Now the Arizona crowd trying to make it difficult for the Bears offense. Cutler, and intended for Alshon Jeffrey. Greg Toller defending, and a flag is down. Penalty marker down, and it will be against the Cardinals, and it'll be holding.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense number 28. 5-yard penalty.
So Toller,
automatic first down.
Holding on Jeffrey, an automatic first down for the Bears.
Well, take a look up top. Ray Horton, the defensive coordinator, saying to the Bears, you're not going to beat us with Brandon Marshall. Jay Cutler said if they did that, they would go to Alshon Jeffrey. They don't disappoint. They go after him. And Jeffrey, that's a pretty sight for him, because he had 3 penalties called on him on offensive pass interference last week, to see it on the other side.
And you're right, John, they need some help on offense besides Forte and Marshall, and Jeffrey could be that other weapon they have today. So it's a first down on the 39. And here's Forte going outside, beats a defender, and a good gain Darrell Washington missed the tackle and a gain of 8 yards for Forte.
Lovie Smith was pretty direct with us and let us know that, hey, some of our star players, our core players, they got to play better. And Matt Forte was one of those guys at the top of the list along with Devin Hester. These are star players that he said got to start playing like stars.
Bears have to win this game or face elimination with the Vikings beating Houston early. 2nd down and 2. Here's Forte and may have a first down just shy of the 50, tackled by Dan Williams. And it will be a first down for the Bears.
I'm talking to Jay Cutler. So much of their offense has run through Brandon Marshall, which is a good thing. He's been outstanding, but we asked him, who else has to emerge? And he said, well, of course, Forte, but it's Alshon Jeffrey. This kid has so much talent. It's just got to come to fruition on the field. We think it's this week.
2nd round draft pick out of South Carolina on first down, and the pass incomplete, intended for Jeffrey. Thrown a bit to the left of him, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 10.
Not much Jeffrey can do here. An errant throw by Cutler, but I like that, what they're doing. Everything so far with Jeffrey has been down the field. They're trying to take advantage of his size and jumping ability. Sometimes get him some rhythm throws, some quick throws early to get him feeling confident in his abilities.
2nd down, and here is Forte into Arizona territory, picking up 4.5 yards, and Washington with the tackle for Arizona. The Bears, in their 5 losses, they've lost 5 out of 6, have averaged only 11 points a game.
And it's a direct translation to the turnovers, Dick. Early in the year, the Bears were not only taking it away on defense, they were scoring on defense when they weren't providing short fields for the offense. That's dried up, as have the points.
Armando Allen is now in the backfield to the right of Cutler, 3rd and 6. And Brandon Marshall and Patrick Peterson get tangled up. No flag is thrown.
You see this matchup we talked about. It's going to be a classic, and just a perfect throw by Jay Cutler. They get caught up at the feet. There should be no penalty, and what concentration by Brandon Marshall. Going to the ground, concentrates all the way to the ground and brings it in.
And the whistle blows, and a challenge flag has been thrown by Ken Wisenhunt to challenge the call on the field that it was a 32-yard completion.
So Peterson go after that right arm of Marshall. Marshall has his hand underneath the ball. I believe that will be hard to overturn. Tremendous concentration by Brandon Marshall.
Alshon Jeffrey giving the call on the field that it was a reception.
And Jay Cutler says, Alshon, I like it, but your opinion doesn't really matter right here. We'll see what Terry McCauley has to say. I tell you, Brandon Marshall, Jay Cutler says, we flat out stole him from Miami. They gave up a third round, excuse me, in 2 different years, but Brandon Marshall, he's making that seem like small pittance because he is playing his tail off for the Chicago Bears.
He's caught 84 more passes than the next wide receiver on this team, which is an incredible amount. And it's interesting how Cutler has gone deep, trying to go deep early on in this first quarter, and may have struck gold here if they get the first down.
Well, it's exactly what he said he would. He said, I don't think the Cardinals are going to change. They're a pressure team. That means one-on-ones outside. If they do that, I'm riding Brandon Marshall all day long. See the double move, and again, just tremendous concentration.
After review, the receiver did not control the pass prior to the ball hitting the ground.
It's incomplete.
Please set the game clock.
And you saw the ball move on that last replay. And John, I don't know if you agree with that. That the movement on the ball when it hit the ground, even in his hands, indicates an incompleted pass. In any event, the 32-yard attempt is gone, and 4th down coming up for the Bears.
Well, Terry McAuley's the opinion that matters. I thought that the ball did move, but he had his hand underneath. Terry McAuley made the call. Here's Patrick Peterson. Electric as a punt returner for the Arizona Cardinals.
He returned 4 for touchdowns last year and made the Pro Bowl as a rookie. So Cutler trying to go deep. And now Adam Podlesh will be kicking for the Bears to Peterson. Cardinals really not, only got a piece of that. The ball bounding inside will be down by the Bears at the 3. Good pressure that time by Calais Campbell, and we're going to have a game break, our first of the day, and let's check in with Patrick O'Neill.
All right, Dick, what a finish between the Cowboys and the Saints. Garrett Hartley with the win. They had it at the 2 after a Colston fumble, recovered at the 2 by Jimmy Graham. Well, the Cowboys lose, but they're still alive in the playoff chase, but it's certainly getting interesting in the NFC East. Dick and John.
All right, Patrick, critical loss with the Vikings and the Redskins winning, John.
Wow.
Now the Cardinals starting from their 4-yard line. Second possession of the game, Beanie Wells hit by Major Wright, the free safety, and it'll be a loss of 1. 2nd down and 11.
Henry Melton has been out for the last couple of weeks, and they have sorely missed him. It's Julius Peppers out there creating pressure. Wooten's played all right, but Melton really is the game changer for this Bears defense. We'll see if Adonijah and Paya can get it done without him.
For those who watch the Saints and the Cowboys in a thriller, and there is a tackle made and a fumble recovery by Zach Bowman, and a touchdown for the Bears. On the handoff to Beanie Wells, he lost it, and Brian Urlacher congratulating the team as it comes off the field. The Bears take the lead.
See the exchange, and Beanie Wells' legs just go out from underneath him. He loses the football. Good exchange by Lindley and Beanie Wells, but that leg gets caught up underneath. Don't know what happened there, but Bowman there to make the play. Kind of an odd play for Beanie Wells. Got to hang on to the football. Zach Bowman says, "Thank you, Beanie. I'll take it."
And this is how the Bears got to 7-1. John, takeaways and scoring off of the takeaways. They've only had 9 in the last 6 coming into this game, and a critical recovery by Bowman. And of course, on all turnovers and scoring plays, they will have a booth review. So we'll take a timeout. Wells on the handoff, knocked into Lindley. Question is, was his knee down? We'll be back. We're back, and Terry McAuley has the call.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
Zach Bowman with a big recovery on this fumble by Wells.
And Wells is never touched. The only person he's touched by is his own teammate Ryan Lindley. They kind of bump into each other. Bowman picks up the football, stretches it over the end zone. The 8th defensive touchdown for the Chicago Bears in 2012.
Olindo Mare with the extra point. And the Bears have taken a 7-0 lead. That's what Lovie Smith said. Got to start out early. They did it with a defensive score. And back in Arizona, 7-1 record, 7 defensive touchdowns. And now nothing when they lost 5 out of 6, and their 8th defensive touchdown is a team record, John. They had 7 back in 1942. And this breaks the record, and Bowman alertly got in for the score. Mare kicking, and Larod Stevens howling, returning again for the Cardinals. And gets to the 16. So the new team record by the Bears, and this is how they got to 7-1.
That's usually a mark of a tremendous team. The one Super Bowl winning team that I played on, that's something that we did. When we won the Super Bowl, we scored our 9th defensive touchdown of the year. Ken Wisenhunt talking to Beanie Wells, trying to figure out what happened. He ran into his rookie quarterback, Ryan Lindley.
Patrick Peterson is in the slot to the right on first down at the 16. And the pass is caught by Peterson. And out of bounds he goes after picking up about 5 yards. And talking to him the other day, he says, love to play offense as I did in high school as a quarterback, receiver, or what have you. And there you see the Bears defense, no question that the takeaways has been the key for them.
It starts up front with guys like Julius Peppers, Lance Briggs having an outstanding season as a weak side linebacker. These two corners, they will get after you, get that ball away from you.
6 yards on first down, and this pass is up in the air, and it's intercepted by Chris Conte, the free safety. And a flag is down back at the 33, and Conte
that's going to come back. It looks like they're going to get Jennings on PI. He was covering Larry Fitzgerald.
Pass interference, defense number 26. Automatic first down.
That's a good call.
Yep.
By Terry McCauley's crew. Jennings arrives early. That creates the interception. But the Bears, this is what they want. They are a ball-hawking defense. They're around it today. Rod Marinelli and Lovie Smith, even though this didn't go their way, they're smiling because they're around the football today.
So reaching over, and you could, the parent for Tim Jennings, who returns after missing 2 games with a dislocated shoulder. William Powell is now in the backfield for the Cardinals. 1st and 10 on the 31. And here is Powell off the left side. And Powell will pick up 3 yards. Lance Briggs making the stop for the Bears.
And it's fun watching Lance Briggs play the linebacker position. I played with a guy in Tampa named Derek Brooks that wore the number 55, and Lance Briggs does so many things that are reminiscent of Derek Brooks. They're great instinctive linebackers that can cover a lot of ground in a hurry, as Powell just learned.
2nd down and 8. Beanie Wells back in the backfield. Big year for Lance Briggs. Maybe one of his best ever. Pass is caught by the tight end Jeff King. And King will get it out to the 35, where Briggs again makes the tackle. He gets 2 yards there.
What makes Lance such a good football player is that he's complete. He's a big man going 240 pounds. You see the way he covers ground. And then the great players, they finish when they do cover that ground. It's exactly what he does on Jeff King.
3rd down and 7. Fitzgerald now being shadowed by Kelvin Hayden. Slot left, Hayden the nickel back. Lindley in trouble, and Lindley goes down at the 25. Julius Peppers with the first sack of the game. 9.5 on the year for Peppers, who has had a history of playing well against the Cardinals.
Well, you're going to see Peppers come off the edge. And this is a big-time matchup for Jake Potter, who's played well, but you're going up against possibly a future Hall of Famer in Julius Peppers. See Larry Fitzgerald come across the middle. He looks open, but he's got Lance Briggs in front of him as well.
Dave Zastudil with the punt, and Hester will let it bounce, and it goes out of bounds. So an effective kick by Zastudil as it goes out of bounds at the 16. We'll be back to Arizona, 7-0 Bears. Back here in Arizona, Dick Stockton, John Lynch will be hearing from Jennifer Hale. The Bears lead 7-0 with a defensive score. Jay Cutler has his team on the 16. Cutler still looking for a receiver, and down he goes. He'll lose a yard. First sack of the game, and Calais Campbell coming off. But Ken Wisenhunt said best game he's played all year. Loss of 1.
Well, Calais Campbell's a guy that can take over a football game, and you see all the attention Brandon Marshall's going to get But when you got a guy like Calais Campbell up front playing like that, Ken Wisenhunt said that's the guy that we saw last week and we're seeing today that we signed to a big contract. We need to see more of it from Calais Campbell.
2nd and 11. Cutler is still looking for his first completion. 0 for 4 thus far. And Cutler trying to get it to Brandon Marshall, covered by Peterson, out of bounds, 3rd and 11.
Here's the matchup we've been talking about all day. You're talking about two of the finest players in the league at their position. Tremendous, skilled athletes. You'll see plenty of this today. Ray Horton will continue to dial up the pressures on Jay Cutler and the Bears, and Calais Campbell says, we're coming back.
This is the strength of this Cardinal team. Cutler is 0 for 5. 4 passes thrown towards Marshall. Third and 11 from the 15. Cutler drills it incomplete. Again trying to get it to Brandon Marshall. Incomplete, and 4th down coming up.
Couple errant throws by Jay Cutler today. You can see Brandon Marshall going to clear Paris Lennon and just trips up, and that causes the timing to be disrupted between Cutler and Marshall.
So Peterson goes back, and Podlesh will be kicking from inside his 5.
Backed up. This is where Peterson can be dangerous.
And Peterson gets hit, and the ball will take a Chicago roll down towards the 20-yard line. And Peterson is shaken up. He took a hit as that ball sailed over his head. One of the Bears pushed the Cardinal into him. Eric Weems pushed Toller into him, and he's shaken up.
Well, if you're wondering why wasn't there a penalty with all the contact, it's because Eric Weems does a tremendous job of pushing Patrick Peterson's own teammate, Greg Toller, right into him. Just a fantastic play by Weems, who's always been a great special teams player in this league.
Starting from the 21, that cost the Cardinals 20 yards and ended up to be a 64-yard punt because Peterson was taken out of the play. Here's Lindley, and the pass is caught by Michael Floyd. The #1 pick out of Notre Dame gets 14 yards, first down to the 35. There's Peterson, who is on the bike, and Weems, who made a sensational play.
Absolutely.
Eddie.
You look at that last pass by Ryan Lindley. Those are the type of throws when I'm standing up here. That looks like a guy who could play at the NFL at a high level, but he's got to do it more consistently, and the Bears are going to make that tough on him. Loading the line of scrimmage right now.
Here is LaRod Stevens howling, and Howling gets 4 yards, and right now let's check in with Patrick O'Neill in a game break.
All right, Dick, well, the Ravens off to a quick start versus the Giants, and Joe Flacco is on his game, and Torrey Smith, his favorite target. This one going 43 yards down at the 1, but lead to Joe Flacco, quarterback sneak. 14-0 Baltimore over the Giants. Baltimore would clinch the AFC North with a victory today. Dick and John.
All right, Patrick, and of course a Giant loss would help the Chicago Bears.
Mightily.
2nd down and 7, and this pass to the 45 to Fitzgerald. He makes the catch, his 2nd reception of the game, and a first down.
Here's another one. You're going to see Larry Fitzgerald working on Charles Tillman. Not a really big window, but Ryan Lindley throws a strike to Larry Fitzgerald, only where Fitzgerald. Those are good throws. Good start for Ryan Lindley to this game.
17-yard pickup there, so Lindley, completing 2 in a row now, has hit on 6 out of 8 for 50 yards. First down at the Bear 45. Stevens howling, and he'll get knocked back in a loss of 1. Jennifer Hale has a report on Patrick Peterson, who was shaken up earlier. Jen.
Yeah, Dick, you saw Peterson fighting to get back in this game, riding the stationary bike, but trainers have said he's got a contusion on his right knee. So right now his return is questionable despite what he wants to do mentally. Guys?
Well, you mentioned at the top how important having these great stars are in returns, and secondary people.
Well, Patrick Peterson, we've seen him on offense, we've seen him on defense, we've seen him on special teams. He's a guy they cannot afford to lose.
Second down, and Lindley's pass, and Fitzgerald with a circus catch at the 26. Tillman and Conte were both there, and 18 yards chunked by the Cardinals.
Well, this is the Larry Fitzgerald I'm accustomed. I think we're all accustomed to seeing, and we haven't seen a lot of it this year because of the fact that teams are so intent on taking him out, but more importantly, they haven't had the quarterback to get it to him. As I said, Ryan Lindley sharp today, and a smart quarterback because he's throwing to number 11.
First down on the 27. Here is Stevens howling, and maybe picking up a yard.
Fitzgerald talking about the Bears' two corners, Tillman and Jennings. He told us flat out, well, you know what we think of them. We just voted on Pro Bowl as a team, 1 and 2 on our ballots. Tim Jennings and Charles Tillman. Thinks very highly, but right now he's taking it to Charles Tillman.
And of course, the patience he has shown with the rookie Lindley as a veteran wide receiver has been very heartening to Ryan Lindley. Second down and 9. Play fake, and Lindley goes out to Anthony Sherman, and Sherman flagged down.
Holding, offense number 76.
Holding penalty
10-yard penalty
against Nate Potter, the rookie left tackle. Will nullify the 6-yard pickup.
We always talk about the island that cornerbacks are in this league. How about this island? You're facing speed like Shea McClellan. Those are two guys that played last year on the same college team at Boise State, and Shea McClellan gets the better of his buddy Jake Potter right there.
So you have Potter at left tackle and Bobby Massey from Ole Miss, the rookie, at right tackle. Second down and 19. Ball back at the 36. Lindley drills it, and Fitzgerald thrown slightly off to the left of Fitzgerald, and now third down and long for Arizona.
And a tremendous play by Lance Briggs. We talk about his presence in the middle of the field. He's a big man. He goes 6'1", 245 pounds. You see the athleticism, getting his hand up and tipping it away. I'm telling you, Lance Briggs is having an all-pro, Pro Bowl, whatever honor you can think of. He's having that kind of season.
Third down and 19. Back on the 36. Cardinals were at the 27. There's a quick pass to Floyd, and Floyd is hit immediately and down at the 32. Fourth down coming up, and Jay Feely will come on to try a field goal.
On these quick screens that we're seeing so much in the NFL of, it's important that you rally to the ball. That's one of the fundamental principles of this defense. I played on it. Big men run into the football. Donahue does a great job getting Floyd down.
49-yard attempt. Feely has missed just 3 field goal attempts this year, and this kick is good. Jay Feely, who kicked a 61-yarder against Buffalo earlier, and it's now 7-3 Bears lead. Patrick Peterson, who was knocked down on that last punt and suffered a contusion of the right knee, was on the stationary bike. It looks like he's going to get back in there as Devin Hester goes back deep. Jay Feely, who just accounted for the field goal, and a low kick, and on the bounce, bobbled by Eric Weems, picked up by Weems, and bringing it out to the 27-yard line. And you'd have to say anyone but Devin Hester on the return, as Patrick Peterson comes back into the secondary.
See Patrick Peterson, as I said earlier, this is just going to be a classic matchup. Two big guys that can flat out run. Going to play a physical battle all day long. Patrick Peterson was looking forward to it. Brandon Marshall was looking forward to it. Patrick Peterson finds out that special teams not always so fun. He's back in for the Arizona Cardinals.
31 seconds left in the quarter, and Jay Cutler is 0 for 6 passing. And they're going to run this with Matt Forte up the middle. Forte with a great move. And forced out of bounds. Forte got another 13 yards with a great move to the left sideline. Finally brought down by Perry Rhodes. Out of bounds, 36 yards.
Mike Tice, he was asking for more patience from Matt Forte. Set up your runs. But look at Brandon Marshall at the end of the play. Not a diva wide receiver, down doing the dirty work, blocking Patrick Peterson. Extremely great effort by Matt Forte and Brandon Marshall blocking for him.
And that was the longest play from scrimmage as time runs out. It is the end of the first quarter here in Arizona, with the Bears leading the Cardinals 7-3. And Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages. Well, today the roof is open here in Arizona as we start the second quarter. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line. And Matt Forte tackled by Sam Acho, the outside linebacker, for no gain on the play. This is the third time this year that the roof has been open here. The Cardinals happen to be 1-1 in the previous two.
And all I know is my man Fred at St. Thomas the Apostle Catholic Church in Phoenix is happy because he says they win every time the roof's open. I don't know if that's right. That's what Fred said.
You always like to have an open roof in the next to last game, the penultimate game of the regular season. 2nd down and 10, and again they go to Forte, and Forte gets a couple. Game break time, and Patrick O'Neill.
All right, Dick, well, the Giants finally remember what it's like to score a touchdown. It's the rookie David Wilson, 14 yards. Giants a bit gimpy at running back with Ahmad Bradshaw on his knee, so Wilson comes in and delivers a backflip for emphasis. 14-7, Baltimore still on top of the G-Men. Take a job.
All right, thank you very much, Patrick. And with the Vikings winning today, the Bears have to win to stay alive. 3rd down and 8. 2 defensive linemen up front for the Cardinals. Cutler still hasn't completed a pass, and he does there to Brandon Marshall, and Peterson is on him, and Marshall makes a difficult catch. And it'll be 1st and goal Chicago after the 30-yard play.
And a much embattled and criticized offensive line for the Bears does a tremendous job blocking for Jay Cutler. And this is a tremendous throw. Patrick Peterson, you can't cover Brandon Marshall any better. But this is the athleticism that Brandon Marshall, the ability to wiggle your body to turn and catch that. And Jay Cutler says, "That a kid, Brandon."
Breaks the ice with his first completion. 1st and goal at the 4. Eric Weems is in the game, and here is Forte, and he goes in for the touchdown. The 30-yard pass play to Brandon Marshall, and the first completion for the Bears sets this up.
And Matt Forte finding the hole. This is what he did not do last week. They had the ball on the 1-yard line of the Packers. Holes were there. He didn't get it in. He got called out by his coaches. He responds today, gets it in the end zone. Great job by Matt Forte.
Twice last week he had the 1-yard attempt that went by the boards. Here is Olindo Mare in his 2nd game since being signed with Robbie Gould on injured reserve. So Marshall sets it up. And it's the touchdown by Forte, his 4th of the year. 14-3 Chicago. He did it in a hurry, 72-yard scoring drive, and those are the 2 playmakers, and they both contributed for the Bears.
Brandon Marshall on a tremendous back shoulder throw by Jay Cutler, and then Forte pounds it in for the Chicago Bears.
Larod Stevens-Howling will down it there for the touchback. So Jay Cutler congratulating his offensive line, and Patrick Peterson a bit dejected. 14-3 Bears. From the 20-yard line, and Beanie Wells picking up a couple on 1st down. 2 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Only 3 Bears have touched the ball on offense. They lead 14-3. Cutler, Forte, and Marshall. And there is an upset. Forget about dejected. A very upset Patrick Peterson.
Well, that's what Brandon Marshall can do to people. You do everything that you're supposed to correctly, and he's still going to beat you. Patrick Peterson's a competitor. It matters to him, but he'll be back.
2nd down and 8. Caught by Fitzgerald, And Larry Fitzgerald off to a good start. They went to him early, and he is on a roll out to the 40, picking up 18.
Well, this has been the matchup that Lindley and the Cardinals have been going to, and it's tight coverage again. But Fitzgerald, a big, strong man, is winning that matchup thus far. And Lindley really doing a nice job of delivering these balls. And that's the old skinny post you used to see so much of Troy Aikman and Michael Irvin. And they're doing it and doing it well here in Arizona.
Good start for Larry Fitzgerald. 4 catches for 61 yards. And a first down at the 40. William Powell is the tailback. And this pass is deflected. Tipped at the line by Julius Peppers. It'll be second down.
See Julius Peppers, such a versatile and excellent football player. The inside move, getting close, but then get that hand up. It's a skill that great pass rushers have, and Julius Peppers, he's exactly that, a great pass rusher and a great football player in this league.
Lindley now 9 of 13 for 91 yards, and Peppers having a big year. The Bears have been an outstanding defensive unit despite injuries, and here is Lindley. And Lindley with a difficult throw into the pack to LaRod Stevens howling. And Peppers makes the tackle, a loss of 3 yards. That could have been dangerous.
Very dangerous, and that's with experience. He'll throw that one in the ground because he threw it into a bunch of Bears howling. Julius Peppers almost gets a pick there, but here we have another 3rd and long for the Arizona Cardinals, a team that struggles mightily on 3rd downs.
Right now the Bears have the Cardinals right where they want them, with 2nd and 3rd and long. Show a blitz and don't come. And this pass is dropped out on the flat by William Powell, so it'll be 4th down, and it's got to be difficult for a rookie quarterback like Lindley to face the Bears defense in all of the disguises and all of the fakes.
And Rod Marinelli talked about it. He said there's 2 kinds of pressure, hitting a quarterback and then mental pressure. Show them different looks, particularly a rookie quarterback. They're doing that, and they're doing it with success against Ryan Lindley early today.
Zastudil, who has punted 100 times for a Cardinal record, kicking to Devin Hester, gets off a beauty, and Hester going back inside the 5. Slowed up and down inside the 5. Devin Hester giving ground, and James Sanders, the former Falcon, with an alert special teams tackle, putting the Bears in a big hole here. Flag is down, however, right around the 10-yard line.
Tremendous job by the coverage unit of the Arizona Cardinals. Devin Hester, talking about a guy who has 18 returns in his career. He's running all around, but that's what he does, and they corral him and do it well.
Number 38, that penalty's declined. During the kick, holding, receiving team number 38. That penalty's accepted. Half of this to the goal. Timeout.
So Zach Bowman, who recovered the fumble on the 1-yard line and scored the defensive touchdown to give the Bears the early lead, called for holding. So the Bears will start from the 4 when we come back. After the penalty, the Bears will start from the 2. There's Matt Forte, who scored the 4-yard touchdown, but also had the 36-yard run. And John, you have to say, despite the fact that Jay Cutler has completed only 1 pass, the Bears have to like the situation they're in right now.
Well, this is the start they wanted. They got to get back to taking the football away, and that's what they do. And when they do that, they score touchdowns. They've done it. Although Cutler's only 1-7, that's what you kind of anticipated. He was going for the attack. He knew the Cardinals were going to pressure. Not going to be a high percentage game, but an explosive game for he and Brandon Marshall.
2nd down and 6. Cutler in the end zone, flips it out, and it is dropped by Evan Rodriguez, the fullback, but good pressure by Paris Lennon, one of the inside linebackers for the Cardinals. So it's 3rd down and 6.
See Cutler get the pressure in his face by Paris Lennon. Throws it out to Rodriguez, and that's a catch that he has to make.
Well, the Cardinals trying to get back in this game and need a stop here to get good field position. if the Bears have to kick. Third and 6, and the pass is almost intercepted in and out of Kerry Rhodes' hands. Brandon Marshall was the intended receiver, and a big golden opportunity goes by the boards for Arizona.
It does, right off Marshall's hands into Kerry Rhodes, who's got tremendous ball skills. Kerry Rhodes going to be kicking himself for this one. He's got it right in his hands, and it just gets away.
So a near turnover, and that's not good enough, but the Cardinals could be looking at good field position. Patrick Peterson standing in midfield as Adam Podlesh. And there is Peterson. Peterson already in Bear territory, gets to the 35 and out of bounds. So the Cardinals will have superb field position. And a 13-yard return. James Sanders feeling good about himself as the Cardinals try to get back. Marshall with the one catch, one completion from Cutler. Both coaches said takeaways and special teams plays would be pivotal in this game. Defensive touchdown for the Bears, important. Lindley throwing incomplete to Rob Hausler, the tight end. 2nd and 10, and this is an opportunity for the Cardinals down by 11 that you feel they've got to take advantage of.
Absolutely, and Rob Hausler's a guy who could be effective in this game. The Bears challenging Lindley and the Cardinals trying to stop the run. That means one-on-one matchups, and Hausler, one of these hybrid wide receiver tight ends. He can run and run fast. Has 45 receptions on the year.
Most catches in the last 4 games for Arizona as well. He's been the go-to guy with Fitzgerald in this pass. Intended for Stevens Howling. So Lindley, problems with accuracy, coming in at 51% as a quarterback. And now the Cardinals, who are last in the NFL in third downs, are faced with a 3rd and 10.
And their futility on third down is somewhat historic. Since they've been tracking this, the 5th worst in history. And I don't know much, but I know that's not good. And you can't stay on the field. And so you see them moving the ball, but if you can't convert on third down, you're going to be punting a lot, as they have.
3rd and 10. And overthrowing Andre Roberts. And the crowd expressing their displeasure at the Cardinals offense. They let a big opportunity go by the boards with a first down on the Bears 32. So Jay Feely will come in to try another field goal.
And that's the inconsistency you've seen with Lindley. At times it can look really good, and then you have a series like that, 3 completely errant throws to wide open wide receivers. And that's what the Cardinals have been facing throughout 2012.
50-yard attempt, and it's a fake. And here is Feely with the run. And Jay Feely, ball goes out of bounds, and they needed 10 yards. He had a lot more than that to get. And Amobi Okoye was alert on the play as Zastadil puts it down and on a design play flips to Feely.
Well, it was Charles Tillman that slowed him down. What athleticism by Amobi Okoye, the big defensive tackle, tracking down. I know it's a kicker, but Jay Feely can scoot a little bit. And Okoye does a tremendous job tracking him down.
You know, John, they needed 10 yards. It was a lot that they needed, not just a couple. And maybe the 3 points would have been more handy for the Cardinals. That's Kevin Spencer, the special teams coach of the Cardinals, as the Bears take over on downs. No gain on that attempt. So now on the 32-yard line, here's Matt Forte with a first down and gets into Arizona territory. Peterson was there at the end, and a big gain for Forte, 19.
Go back to this fake, and you're going to see Charles Tillman coming off the edge. And that's what the Cardinals have seen. But as you said, Dick, you've got 10 yards, and you've got guys like Okoye that can run. And Jay Feely said, I'm not going to get it. Let's throw this thing up and see what we can get.
At least he threw it up in the air and it went out of bounds instead of staying on the field to play. First down after the 19-yard gain at the 49-yard line. And here is Forte again. Forte scored the Bears' offensive touchdown from 4 yards out, and he also has a good gain of 36 yards as well. Picks up 2 here.
and he's already got 82 yards. And as we told you, Lovie Smith told us, hey, we got guys, stars, that need to play like stars. Matt Forte was at the top of that list, and he's responding. He's playing excellent football. And that's what he is. He's an excellent football player. Been in a little bit of a slump, coming out of it today.
Well, it's been Forte and Marshall. That's been the story here. Marshall with 1 catch. Forte with 82 yards. Cutler is 1 for 9. Bears call a timeout. Well, it's the holiday season, and we wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, as that Bear fan does. Well-designed beard. Second down and 8 after the Chicago timeout. Here is Cutler. And intended for Marshall. Peterson on him. And the pass incomplete. Marshall was looking for a flag. 3rd and 8.
We've been talking about this matchup. It's going to be physical. You got 2 big athletes that can run. Is there some contact? Absolutely, but I like it by the officials. Let the guys play. Let 2 tremendous athletes go out there and compete. Patrick Peterson doesn't like it, but you just won right there, Patrick.
Cutler's 10 pass attempts. 8 have been thrown in Marshall's area. He caught 1 for 30 yards, which set up a score. Now it's 3rd and 8. Marshall and Peterson matched up, and we'll have a timeout. The Bears will call their second here with 8:31 remaining in the half. Well, on January 4th, one of the best bowl games of the year is on Fox, as Heisman Trophy winner and one of the most talked about players in the country, Johnny Manziel, leads 9th-ranked Texas A&M against the 11th-ranked Oklahoma Sooners. The AT&T Cotton Bowl Classic is January 4th only on Fox.
Back, and you see Brandon Marshall, but that's what Brandon is. Brandon's about 230 pounds, 6'4", so he's going to play physical. And Patrick knew that coming in. He talked about the physicality. He's pleading his case, maybe like a baseball manager trying to get a call later on in the game.
That works, you know. Sometimes. 3rd and 8 on the 47 of Arizona. Cutler has tied and throws a knuckleball intended for Marshall. So 9 of his 11 attempts have been thrown to Marshall, and so 4th down coming up. I've never seen a game that we get halfway through the second quarter, John, and really 3 guys have basically touched the ball on offense for the team leading by 11.
Yeah, and your quarterback's 1 of 11 for the Chicago Bears, but the Arizona Cardinals can't take advantage of it. We'll see if they can change that course right now.
Well, Peterson immediately calls for a fair catch, and he does so at the 12. Right now, let's go down to the field. Jennifer Hale.
Well, you know, Dick, Patrick Peterson's wife always sends him a pregame text, but it's nothing mushy. It is always football related. Some sort of skill she wants him to work on, or possibly a challenge. For today, she said, hey, I want you to get not 1, but 2 interceptions. That was what she challenged him with. John, curious if your wife ever did anything like that.
She did, but we used to write letters back then rather than text. She left a note for me every game in the same way. It wasn't lovey-dovey. It was, all right, John, read the guards, bring your arms on the tackle, always see what you hit, that kind of stuff.
At least you didn't mail it.
That's
you
right.
wouldn't have had it in time.
But I never felt complete unless I read that. It was the last thing I did coming out of the locker room.
And I'm sure, Jen, she didn't text, don't get hurt either. He's all right now. 1st down and 10, and Rod Stevens howling. Out to the 16, picking up 4 yards. Well, the big problem here is, well, not enough people have touched the ball for the Bears, but they're in front, and it's the Cardinals that have to get things going. Larry Fitzgerald has caught 4 passes thus far. Total yards is not that close or far away for Arizona at this point. 2nd down and 6. Stevens howling. Back to the line of scrimmage. And Geno Hayes, the former Tampa Bay Buccaneer, making the play. He was inactive against Green Bay. Lovie Smith getting Tim Jennings back, along with the Hayes. Henry Melton could be back next week in the regular season finale.
Chicago, they've thought this through, and what they're doing right now, they're stacking the line of scrimmage on 1st and 2nd down and saying, go ahead, Ryan Lindley, beat us. They don't think he can, and then they're setting up these 3rd and longs that the Cardinals haven't been good at all season.
Cardinals need 6 yards. Lindley going underneath, and it'll be a 1st down to William Powell. Major Wright finally makes the play, but not before the Cardinals get 8 yards and convert their 2nd 3rd down of the game.
That's a really nice job by Ryan Lindley there. He's got the protection. He goes through the progression and slips it out. He said this is one of the challenges in the NFL. In college, you always want to force the ball downfield. Your pride gets in the way. He's learned you can't do that in the NFL. You got to take what they give you.
Powell remains in there, and a fake to Powell. Lindley stepping up, and the pass incomplete through Hausler. And time for a game break, and let's check in with Kurt Menefee this time.
Well, the Denver Broncos going for their 10th straight win. Peyton Manning hooking up on a 10-yard score with Eric Decker. They lead Cleveland 14-3. And please keep in mind, Dick and John, because Houston lost earlier today, Denver can still get the #1 seed in the AFC.
Seems to be all coming around for the Broncos, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Last week it was the New England Patriots slipping on that allowed them to grasp that 2 seed. Great point by Kurt with Houston slipping. That 1 seed's in reach.
2nd and 10, and Lindley will go down. Had no chance there, and Adonijay with the 2nd sack of the game for the Bears.
And Adonijay is one of the guys who's moved inside. We talked about the pressure from Wooten and Peppers on the outside. They didn't have anything up the middle last week, and Adonijay stepping up to the challenge as well for the Bears. Little push in the middle that you always need.
You know, going back to the Broncos, if Peyton Manning and the Broncos win that game, it'll be the 9th year that Manning has won 12 games or more. Phenomenal record of consistency. 3rd down and 15, and Lindley's pass caught by Michael Floyd, and he's not going to get away. And Charles Tillman, who's having a brilliant season for the Bears in the secondary, as you mentioned, along with Jennings, makes the tackle. 2-yard gain, and the Cardinals will kick.
You get behind the change in the NFL, you're forced just to throw the football down underneath. 3rd and 15, the offensive coordinator, not many plays in the playbook, particularly with a rookie quarterback. They got to start being more efficient on 1st and 2nd down.
Zastudil with the punt, and it's a short kick. Devin Hester, and it bounces off one of the Bears, and it's picked up and run in by Michael Adams for the touchdown. Deflected off of DJ Moore, and Adams in stride. Scores for Arizona. And let's see, it was a muff, and not sure you can advance a muff, and they may call this one back.
Terry McCauley going to spot the ball right there, but it will be Arizona's ball. Michael Adams picks it up. You got to have some awareness if you're DJ Moore, and Devin Hester's got to help him out. The call there is short, 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 get away, and DJ Moore obviously doesn't hear it, not aware, and Michael Adams the beneficiary.
And it's a muff because there was no possession, and then a fumble, so they're going to place the ball on the 36, but the Cardinals have it on the 36-yard line.
See right there, it's not just the Bears who have been taking part in the takeaway game this year. The Cardinals 4th in the league coming into today. And DJ Moore again on those short punch, you got to get out of the area because you never know where they're going to bounce, and DJ Moore finds that out.
Cardinals again with good field position for the 2nd straight possession. Came away with nothing last time. They're on the 36 of Chicago. Stevens howling, and he gets about 4. Last time the Cardinals had the ball on the 32, it was a field goal try and a fake, and Jay Feely Just got back to the line of scrimmage, so Arizona squandered even an attempt for 3. And now it is 2nd and 7.
And this is where you have to be productive. This is where they've been going backwards, setting up long 3rd downs. Get some positive yards here.
Lindley, and it's caught by William Powell. And Tillman makes the tackle, but not before Powell has a 1st down. To the 23 of the Bears, picking up 10.
William Powell doing a nice job as the receiver for the Arizona Cardinals out of the backfield. His 2nd catch of the game. Lindley starting to establish some rhythm again after that bad series he had with 3 errant throws.
On the 23 of the Bears, Lindley gets out of trouble, and the pass is caught inside the 20 by Michael Floyd. Loose ball, and it's recovered by the Cardinals. Michael Floyd had lost the ball, and the Cardinals keep possession and will get 6 yards on this play.
And here's why the Bears lead the league in turnovers, because they run and they hit and then they go after that football. As Michael Floyd just learned, the Cardinals came up with the ball, but watch this Bears defense. You're going to catch it, but here comes the swarm of Bears, and they do it better than anybody. Jennings gets the football out here, stripping it.
Looked like Lance Briggs had a great chance to get it, and it was the center Adam Snyder who fell on top of it. And we'll have a challenge by Lovie Smith over on the sideline.
Chicago is challenged.
Larry Fitzgerald's asking Lovie Smith what he's challenging.
So they're going to challenge the ruling on the field.
Looks right there like that right knee's down prior to Floyd losing the ball, and Jennings goes in with that left hand. It looks like that right knee's clearly down.
Well, it's amazing the way the Bears knocked the ball, and they have made a habit out of that. And even Lance Briggs, when we talked to him yesterday, John, said, we know that teams are aware of us punching the ball out now and protecting it better.
Well, we see Tim Jennings do it right there, but there's nobody better in this league, in the National Football League. And Rod Marinelli, their defensive coordinator, would tell you in history that Charles Tillman, 10 forced fumbles this season, most in the NFL history. Charles Tillman, it's uncanny. He's got a combination of being heavy-handed and then tremendous hand-eye coordination. Look at his eyes tracking the football. Not easy to do. They teach you to do it, but not many guys can do it like Charles Tillman. And there's Rod Marinelli, who says, I want a strip attempt on every defensive play. And that guy right there, I had the opportunity to play underneath him with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. In my mind, the finest assistant ever to coach in this league.
And control of football prior to losing control of the football. Chicago is charged with their 3rd and final team
So the Bears
timeout.
charged with a timeout, losing this challenge. And that is their 3rd and final here in the first half.
Again, you see that right knee go down for Michael Floyd prior to the ball coming out.
2nd down and 5 now at the 18 for the Cardinals, who have managed only a field goal against this Bears defense. Here's Powell again, and Powell picks up a yard. Beanie Wells, who had fumbled at the goal line, resulting in a Bear recovery and a touchdown, has seen sparse action since that moment. He has carried 4 times for a total of 3 yards, and they've gone more to Stevens Howling, who was carried 7 times, and now Powell.
And here's this 3rd and 4, productive on 1st and 2nd, but this is where they struggle mightily. 22% on the year. Last in the league. New England first at 64%. Big discrepancy.
And here is the fade into the end zone, and it is incomplete. Rob Hausler covered by Chris Conte, the free safety. And Hausler trying to make the one-handed catch and stay in for the touchdown. Couldn't do it.
They like that matchup, but Conte's a guy that can cover these kind of guys. Good throw by Lindley. Really just a nice play by Chris Conte, competing and getting the ball out.
So now Jay Feely is on to try a field goal. It'll be a 35-yard attempt. Lindley was hoping. So now the Cardinals will try to add to their 3 points, and Feely's kick is good from 35 yards out. That has been the Cardinals' offense, a pair of field goals, and they've had good field position. Only 3 points the last 2 times they've had the ball in Chicago territory. Well, halftime is coming up shortly. To get a preview of what we're going to see, here is Kurt Menefee.
Coming up on the party we like to call the Visa Halftime Show, we'll fill your stockings with all the NFL highlights, including an overtime thriller in Dallas. RG3 returns as the Redskins try to take control of the NFC East, and the AFC playoff picture is just about set. So come rock with us on the Visa Halftime.
Well, they had the holiday spirit, didn't they, in the studio in the pregame show, and they still have it.
Boys were getting down there in Los Angeles.
6 plays, 19 yards, and Feely's 35-yard field goal. And the Bears turning it over. The muff, which couldn't be returned for the touchdown. And Jay Cutler getting set to go back to work. Devin Hester back deep for Chicago. Vikings won today, so the Bears need to win to stay alive in the playoff fight. Kicking it away from Hester and a touchback, and they'll start at the 20-yard line. Well, tomorrow Fox kicks off a holiday comedy marathon with a week of TV's best. Monday is a night of Raising Hope. Tuesday is Nothing But New Girl. Wednesday is all Ben and Kate, and Thursday wraps up with the Mindy Project. It all starts tomorrow on Fox.
If you're the Chicago Bears right now, you need some better efficiency out of your quarterback. You're ahead in the game, but your quarterback's 1 of 11. It's not going to be a high percentage game because of the nature of their defense, but you got to be better than 1 of 11 at the quarterback position.
Bears have no timeouts left. Pass caught by Brandon Marshall. So 2 completions by Cutler, both to Marshall. He gets 7 yards there. As we wind down to the 2-minute warning. Amazing that it's been Cutler, Forte, and Marshall as Hausler goes into the locker room. 2-minute warning here in Arizona with the Bears in front, 14-6. We saw Rob Hausler go into the locker room, has a right shoulder injury, questionable as to his return. Meanwhile, the Bears have the ball, 2nd and 3, 2 minutes to go in the first half. And here is Cutler going deep, and the pass is going to be caught by Alshon Jeffrey. So finally, somebody other than Forte and Marshall figure in the offense, 35 yards into Cardinal territory.
And Alshon Jeffrey, they went to him last week, hoping that he would emerge, and last week it was all the pass interferences penalties on Jeffrey. Right there, he comes through for Jay Cutler.
And there is the flip out to Forte, and Forte winds up 3 yards shy of a first down. No timeouts remaining, remember, for the Bears.
What a tremendous catch by Jeffrey. A great throw by Jay Cutler, bringing that ball in.
Had no catches against Green Bay last week. 7-yard gain for Forte, 2nd down and 3. Here's Cutler, drills it, and the pass caught by Earl Bennett. So Earl Bennett, who is inactive the last 2 with a concussion, makes a key catch at 16, and now other people figuring in the Bears offense. It'll be a first down on the 15.
And that's important. And the middle of the field should be wide open because they pay so much attention to Brandon Marshall outside.
Forte gets to the 11. Calais Campbell got a hold from behind, and he picks up 4.
Plenty of time for the Bears. 33 seconds. Problem, no timeouts. They burned the last one on a questionable challenge by Lovie Smith. Left them with no timeouts.
2nd and 6. And this pass caught by Marshall for the touchdown. The 11-yard touchdown pass. And Brandon Marshall with his 11th TD reception of the season with 19 seconds remaining. And with no timeouts, the Bears smartly moved downfield
What a year Brandon Marshall is having. There's obviously Calvin Johnson, who we saw setting records last night, but right behind him, I'd take that guy over anybody right now in the NFL at the receiver position.
Murray adds the 21st point, and the Bears lead 21-6 with 19 seconds to go. The Bears went 80 yards in 2 minutes.
Here's the matchup we've been talking about, and a quick double move by Brandon Marshall. Patrick Peterson was looking forward to this matchup. We'll ask him after the game, but Patrick Peterson going up against Calvin last week, Brandon Marshall this week. He's going to be ready for just a normal guy because he's going up against the best the last couple of weeks.
And those two have always had rapport going back to their time in Denver. And Lovie Smith, knowing how important this game is, as he told us, we got to get to 10-6, but we can't do that till we win our 9th game. Vikings won earlier, so the Bears need to win to stay alive, and the Giants are trailing 24-7. And the smoothest way for the Bears to get into postseason is to win their last 2 and have the Vikings and the Giants each lose 1. Murray will be kicking to Stevens Howley. 19 seconds remaining. And the Cardinals will take it out at the 20-yard line.
One thing you can never question about Jay Cutler is his arm strength. I watched him come in on my team as a rookie in Denver, and right away I was saying this is rare, the ability to throw the football. He does it well on that series, spreading the football around to Bennett, Jeffrey, and then finishing throwing to Brandon Marshall.
What did Ken Winterson say? He makes all the throws, and he showed it there. First down at the 20. Marshall with the 3 catches, 48 yards, and a big 30-yard play that set up the first Bear offensive touchdown. Lindley passes complete to Floyd, and a first down. The Cardinals have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. This is a 12-yard gain. Don't forget the Visa halftime report coming up. Giants battling the Ravens. Colts and Bengals lock up playoff berths in the AFC, and the Cardinals call their first timeout with 13 seconds left in the half.
Ken Wisenhunt there. It's been a tough and frustrating year. They get off, win their first 4, and Dick, we watched it. Those weren't fluke wins. They went into New England, beat New England. But when you don't have consistency and high-level play at the quarterback position, it's tough no matter how good your defense is.
Kevin Cobb got hurt. John Skelton didn't get the job done. So Lindley, the rookie, the 3rd stringer. Tough year for quarterbacks in Arizona. Pass caught by Alphonso Smith out of the backfield. And the Cardinals will call a timeout with 6 seconds remaining.
Just look at this Bears defense. It's fun for me to watch them play defensive football because they play it the right way. You may catch the ball, but then here comes the posse, and that man coaches it that way. It's something he believes in. He preaches. He will not let you play on his defense if you're not going to do it. You got corners like Tillman and Jennings that are ball hawks, but they'll also tackle. And then you got big guys that are going to run to the football. If you don't, you don't play. And as a result, you have a team who's playing great football, the 5th-ranked defense in the National Football League.
2nd and 2, 6 seconds left on the clock. Lindley completes to LaRon Bird. And a timeout just in the nick of time with 1 second remaining in the half. Well, Sam Acho, look at this great Christmas scene. Acho gives his glove to a fan, and talk about an early Christmas for this Arizona Cardinal fan.
Unbelievable.
Priceless.
The excitement on that kid's face, probably the best Christmas present. He goes to his mom, I assume, and Says, Mom, look what I got. Nothing better than seeing that excitement on a kid's face, and I can't wait to see my kids tonight and spend Christmas with my family.
And a great family it is. Holiday season getting underway. The Bears have 3 men back, deep safety, and incomplete. That'll do it for the half. Alphonso Smith, the intended receiver. Big question going into the second half. Will the Cardinals manage enough offense? Can they score enough to beat the Bears? And that is the end of the half. Bears 21, Cardinals 6. Fox NFL Sunday continues. The Visa halftime report after these messages. Ready for the second half, and the Bears lead the Cardinals by a score of 21-6. A reminder to follow your favorite team all season long. Go to itunes.com/NFL. Well, a 21-6 lead, and it's important for the Bears, who had lost 5 out of 6, 3 in a row, to try to turn it around. And they got the takeaway score back, and the offense starting to move a bit.
Yeah, and I think if you're Lovie Smith and the Bears, you're thrilled with the way your defense is playing. They have the 1 turnover. They've come close on about 3 or 4 other situations. They're getting after the football. Offensively, the result's been good, but you want a little more efficiency. And again, you got to have somebody other than Brandon Marshall and Matt Forte to step up. Alshon Marshall has shown some potential. We got to see more of that in the second half, along with Earl Bennett. And the Cardinals, you got to be able to sustain drives offensively. And defensively, they need the turnovers to come to the forefront.
Alshon Jeffrey with a 35-yard catch. Marshall with a 30-yard reception. Bears won the toss, deferred, so they get the ball first. Feely kicking off to Devin Hester. And Hester will return from the 1. Devin Hester down the sideline, breaks a couple of tackles, and a terrific return in traffic by Devin Hester as he gets to the 42-yard line.
And that's a welcome sight, because along with Matt Forte, Lovie Smith said we need the Devin Hester that we know to emerge. We need him to bust some returns, and he comes close right there. A positive sign for the Chicago Bears.
And a start from the 41-yard line, so he wanted Forte to respond, and he did with a touchdown and a 36-yard run. And Hester with a terrific return of the second half kickoff. Play action for Cutler, and Cutler has a wide open Kellen Davis and a first down. And let's check in with Jennifer Hale.
Now, Lovie Smith at halftime, he told me that score going into the half was huge, and he believes the reason it was successful was how the Bears spread the ball around. They want to get more playmakers involved this second half. Also look for them to run the ball more, especially with the success Matt Forte is having today. A little bit of a hit for them on defense, though. Safety Chris Conte is now questionable with a hamstring injury, Dick.
All right, Jen. Forte averaging 7.7 yards per rush. He's going to have a chance here to add to that. And Forte stopped at the 44 of the Cardinals by Sam Acho after picking up 3.
Mike Tice, the offensive coordinator for the Chicago Bears, used to be at Minnesota. As you see Forte limp gingerly off, that would be a huge loss. But compared Matt Forte to Robert Smith, a guy I played against a lot, and said he's got to do what Robert did and get more patient at the running back position. Then his speed can become more of an asset for him.
Armando Allen now the running back, and the handoff to Allen looked like a little confusion in the backfield for the Bears. They'll lose a yard with Darrell Washington coming in to stop Allen.
We'll go back to the finish of this run by Matt Forte to see if we can see anything. And if anything, it looks like those ankles got rolled up. Forte battling for extra yards, and that's right ankle. Don't be surprised, the right ankle or right foot.
Forte coming in needing 97 yards for his third career 1,000-yard season. And here is Cutler getting a pass rush, and getting a piece of it was Calais Campbell. So 4th down, and the Cardinal defense, after allowing the Bears to get into their territory, hold, forcing Chicago to kick.
Calais Campbell's 6 foot 8 inches, and when you are that big and that athletic of a football player, you can take games over. He did last week, and he's played well thus far today as well.
3 tackles for losses against the Lions. He has 4.5 sacks on the year. So Adam Podlesh will be kicking, and Patrick Peterson standing at the 10. Fair catch called immediately by Peterson at the 10-yard line. Strange, the Bears lead 21-6, but the Cardinals have doubled the Bears in time of possession. It'll be Lindley and company on offense. Beautiful Sedona. Matt Forte, remember Michael Bush was put on IR with a rib injury. He was the second leading rusher and led the Bears actually with 5 touchdowns. So now Forte being tended to on the sidelines. First down from the 10 for Lindley, getting a pass rush. And the pass incomplete, flag is down. Try to get it to the fullback Anthony Sherman. And holding will be the call against
Holding,
Arizona.
Offense number 70. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Bobby Massey, right tackle, half the distance. By the way, Chris Conte, as Jennifer reported, hurt. Anthony Walters replaces him.
And there's Corey Wooten breaking in, and Massey can do nothing else but hold Wooten, or his quarterback's going to get killed, and you see it right there. Good job by the officials. Terry McCauley. Nice job by our cameraman.
First down at 15 at the 5. Pass batted up in the air by Major Wright. Tell you, the secondary dangerous, not only in punching balls out, getting tips at the line.
You see Major Wright coming off the corner. Lovie Smith said, we're going to be more aggressive in our blitz calls in this game. Put the pressure on the rookie quarterback. And they haven't disappointed. They've come after him. They've been all over the ball. Good sign for this defense that the turnovers, as we mentioned, #1 in the league, but of late they haven't been there.
This is a dangerous area for the Cardinals because Beanie Wells lost the ball. No one really hit him, fumbled, and Zach Bowman fell on it for the touchdown. The defensive score for the Bears. Now it's 2nd and 15 from the end zone. Lindley's pass is intercepted by Tillman, who walks in for the touchdown. Dangerous territory indeed for the Arizona Cardinals, backed up against their own goal line.
Now the 9th defensive touchdown for the Chicago Bears. And you know what? You can talk about a rookie quarterback, but that's a poor effort by Andre Roberts. You got to go compete for that football. You're leaving your quarterback out to dry. He didn't explode on the football. Tillman wanted it more. He went and got it. It looks bad for Ryan Lindley, but put that one on Andre Roberts.
10-yard interception returned by Charles Tillman. And now Alindo Mare looking to add the 28th point early here in the 3rd quarter. And he does. And the 9th defensive touchdown, one shy of the NFL record, and it's Charles Tillman. Bears trying to get back to winning ways and looking good. Mr. Urlacher seconds that emotion. Tillman with the pick 6 and gets a hug from Rod Marinelli. And the Cardinals trailing 28-6. 8th career interception. Return for a touchdown for Tillman. And the Cardinals will start at the 20, and Brian Hoyer is going to come on.
The Cardinals continue their search for someone to play the quarterback position, and I'll back Lindley again. Not his fault on that last play, but Ken Wisenhunt feels like he has to make a switch at the quarterback position.
Lindley was 17 of 30 for 141 yards and 1 interception. Kevin Cobb, Lindley, John Skelton, and now Hoyer, the 4th quarterback this year for the Cardinals. Handoff to Stevens Howling. He gets a couple. So Hoyer, seeing his first action of the season, was claimed on waivers from the Steelers on December the 10th. Came in briefly with Pittsburgh after Ben Roethlisberger was hurt. Spent 3 years with the Patriots, but he was cut in August. He's an undrafted free agent. 3 years from Michigan State. So that's the background on Brian Hoyer. See what he does with the Cardinals offense. 2nd down and 7. William Powell now the back. And Hoyer completes to Roberts. And Roberts getting the first down. Past the 36 to the 37. Lance Briggs on the tackle.
Hoyer was just signed on the 10th of December, so a crash course on the offensive system of Mike Miller and Ken Whisenhunt. And we'll see how much he's been able to digest in that short time.
And a first down on the 38. Ken Whisenhunt's team, as you mentioned, starting so impressively, including a win in New England. 4-0, and then the roof caved in with 9 straight losses, including a 58-0 thrashing against Seattle. Here is William Powell. And Powell to the 45 will be about 3.5 yards shy of a first down. Jen Hale with an update on Matt Forte.
Matt Forte has now had his ankle padded, braced, and wrapped well. He's fighting to get back in this game. He does not want to come out, guys. He keeps telling the trainers, I'm good, I'm good. They're having him do some sprints up and down the sideline. They're still continuing with evaluations at this moment, but from everything I'm hearing Forte say and do, he wants back in desperately.
Question is it wise to bring him in? With the playoffs on the line and a 28-6 lead and an incomplete pass by Hoyer, intended for Michael Floyd, and it'll be 3rd and 3. Lindley making his 4th start of the year, won his first game as a quarterback last week, and still without a touchdown pass.
Well, and there's a lot of questions here in Arizona. The head coach being one of them. Is Ken Whisenhunt going to still be here? But whoever is the coach of this team next year, they've got to find themselves a quarterback. That's clear. Is that Kevin Cobb? We'll see. Decisions to be made, though.
3rd down and 3. Hoyer off the hands of the intended receiver Roberts, and it's 4th down. So the big question coming in as Matt Forte goes to the locker room, they're not going to take any chances with the meat and potatoes, considering that it's been Forte, Marshall, and Cutler for the most part in this game.
And you're talking about a team fighting to get into the playoffs, but they've got this game in hand. But just by the way he's walking, doesn't look like he could play even if he wants to.
Dave Zastadil will be kicking. Devin Hester back deep. Hester calling for the fair catch, bounces off of him, and a loose ball picked up by Weems. And Weems is put down. The Bears already had muffed a punt and gave the Cardinals an opportunity, and now Devin Hester has the ball bounce off of him. And fortunately for the Bears, they still have it. Good alert play by Eric Weems. Bears leading the Cardinals 28-6, and we talked to Larry Fitzgerald the other day, and he says it's been tough for all of us. So now 4 quarterbacks, and it's been a rough year for him, but he has kept his composure, been encouraging, has been a class athlete. Armando Allen with the run, and a first down for Allen. Allen, who has a 46-yard touchdown this year for the Bears, gets 17 yards, gets him out of trouble, out to the 26.
And they're going to need Armando Allen or Khalil Bell, someone to step up, particularly if Matt Forte is looking at a long-term ankle injury. But Allen sees the hole well right there, and this offensive line that has been much maligned is playing well today. They've given Cutler a lot of time in the pass game and been run blocking extremely well.
Former Tampa Bay Buck. And played his college ball at Notre Dame. First down at the 26. And here is Allen going off the left side, and Allen gets to the 30, picking up 4 yards. And if you've been calling your friends watching the game saying, have you seen any numbers about this game, any stats, any graphics? And they said, no, I haven't. Well, we want to apologize because our graphic machine has been down. So we have not been able to show you normally what we would bring you up to date on the graphics of the game overall, playoff picture, individual performances so far, and we apologize for that. Second down and 6. Bears with 4 wide receivers, 3 lining up to the right. On the spread, here's the pressure, here's Allen with the catch, and he's hit immediately. Darrell Washington with a good tackle. Prevented Allen from getting a first down.
And not a good play, a great play by a great player. Watch Darrell Washington right here. And this is linebacker play. The ball's in the air, and then watch the finish. Just the explosion. This guy, a tremendous football player. 9 sacks from the middle linebacker position. He's been all over the field this year. Over 120 tackles on the season. Tremendous football player.
And now with 3rd and 5, Khalil Bell has come into the game for the Bears. They signed him this week. 3rd time with the team. Short yardage guy, but Cutler will throw, and the pass is caught by Brandon Marshall, and he may have the first down. Peterson right with him, and that's the 2nd time we've seen Peterson do a classic job against Marshall.
That's textbook coverage, but Brandon Marshall, that's what he does. Again, 230 pounds. I watched him come into the league as a rookie. First day of training camp, he was talking some trash. I tried to knock him out. Darn near knocked myself out and said, this guy's different. And he has been, and I'm proud of the young man because he's grown up a lot, become a leader in this league, along with a tremendous player.
Good place for him is Chicago with the Bears. Cutler getting the rush, but gets rid of it, and the pass caught by Marshall. And his forward progress will be just shy of the first down. Peterson on the play. Boy, those two have been great to watch, and you pointed out that early. Game break time. Patrick O'Neill.
Hey, Dick, the Denver Broncos are, well, moments away from their 10th consecutive victory. Jacob Hester, 1-yard touchdown run. They lead the Browns 31-6. If Denver beats the Chiefs next week and Houston loses to the Colts, Denver has home field throughout the playoffs. What do you guys think about that?
I think Peyton Manning would like that very much. Here is Allen. And Allen fights his way to the first down to the 49.
You know, Lovie Smith, he's been selling to his team. It's who gets hot at this time of year, and you look around the league, you see the Denver Broncos. You look at what Green Bay did, and they're getting healthy as a team, 55-7 over Tennessee. Team like Chicago, some things have to fall into place, but it's all about playing your best football at the right time, and the Broncos certainly are doing that.
And what about the Seahawks? We saw them last week, and a lot of people think they're the sleeper. They've won 3 in a row, and they finished with 2 home games, including a big one tonight against the 49ers.
Redskins, another team on a roll, hot right now.
First down, Cutler, and on the middle screen to Kellen Davis, the tight end. And Davis wrestled down by Washington. Redskins have won 6 in a row, and they kept it going. The Green Bay Packers 4 in a row, and those teams trying to get, well, at least the Redskins into postseason and keep hot. The Packers already clinched the NFC North. Second down and 3. And off to Khalil Bell, and Bell will be tackled for a yard loss by Bonnie Holiday with help from Washington. Clock continues to run here in the 3rd quarter. The Bears lead 28-6. They scored 2 defensive touchdowns in this game. A fumble recovery in the end zone by Zach Bowman, and Charles Tillman with a 10-yard interception that he ran in for a score. And has the ball to prove it.
He's keeping that thing.
3rd down and 3. Cutler, and overthrowing Alshon Jeffrey. Good coverage by Greg Toller downfield. Flag is down on the line of scrimmage.
Penalties decline. 4th down.
And holding called against Bell. It's declined, and the Bears will punt.
One thing for the Arizona Cardinals, and you see the 28 points, a little misleading for their defense because 2 of those have been scored by the Bears defense. It's a group who has fought hard and played well throughout this season. They continue to do that here today.
Peterson is back deep. Adam Podlesh. And fair catch called for, and it goes into the end zone and unable to save it, so it'll get out to the 20-yard line. Well, the only thing that the Bears have lost today, well, Brandon Marshall, he lost his shoe. That's it. Reminder to call ** NFL to download NFL Mobile now and get coverage of every NFL game. First down for the Cardinals at the 20. Stevens howling off the right side and picks up 2. Lance Briggs is there. And you might say that all the Cardinals want for Christmas is perhaps a quarterback who could throw. It's been 24 quarters since their last passing touchdown, and it's been a long drought. And one time, a great songwriter, one of the all-time legends, Irving Berlin, said all they want for Christmas is snow. He wrote a song called White Christmas because he didn't have any snow here at the famed Arizona Biltmore Hotel, and he wrote it back in 1942, wishing there was snow. Best-selling single of all time. Roberts breaking a tackle and getting a first down out to the 34. Missing the tackle was Wright, but a 12-yard gain.
I think the folks in Arizona would take a quarterback ahead of Snow right now. But Brian Hoyer, a nice job right there. And, you know, I think it's good to get Hoyer in this because they've got to evaluate him. They've had a chance to evaluate Lindley. You got to put all these pieces together in the offseason and come up with a plan to have someone. It is such the premier position in this league. You got one, you're going to be good. You don't, you're going to be in trouble.
No sense in scolding these quarterbacks. They're doing the best they can. They use more in this game. And a flag is down. False start called against the Cardinals.
5-yard penalty. First down.
And it'll still be first down, but a 5-yard penalty, making it 1st and 15. Cutler, 11 of 23 for 141 yards and a touchdown pass.
And you know, you talk about the frustration. The fans are frustrated, and you think of Larry Fitzgerald, and I played against him a lot in the league. But what a class act Larry Fitzgerald is. We asked him if he was frustrated, and after about a 10-second deep breath, he said, absolutely, but you can't show it at work. I'm a leader of this team. I'm a captain. I got to act like it. And what a player and what a class act he is.
1st and 15 in stride. Pass caught by Larry Fitzgerald. And he gets into Bear territory. A first down. He caught 4 passes early. And it's been a while. He makes his 5th catch, good for 24.
And a nice ball by Hoyer. The play action. And throws a strike to Larry Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald brings it in and takes a hard hit from Anthony Walters, who's filling in for Chris Conte at the safety position.
5 catches, 85 yards, and here is Stevens howling, cutting upfield. And Israel Adonijah makes the tackle. And what about the great work of Larry Fitzgerald when after the season he does great relief work for the underprivileged? He has visited, he told us, unbelievable, 86 countries. Injured player Charles Tillman is up on his feet.
Look at Tillman and Briggs. They're saying to each other, what are you doing? You watch Briggs at the linebacker position, 55, and at the end of that play, Charles Tillman puts the biggest hit of the day on his own teammate. And they both. Ooh. Those are 2 players critical to the Bears, and it's so important to stay healthy, come out of this game healthy for the Chicago Bears. They've already lost Matt Forte, and those are 2 players they could ill afford to lose on defense.
Well, they're not going to take any chance with Tillman. Zach Bowman, who scored a touchdown, first touchdown of the game, has replaced him at cornerback. Talked about Briggs, who has scored 2 defensive touchdowns on interceptions. Tillman got his 3rd today. 2nd down and 7, and pass intended for the tight end Jeff King. And it'll be 3rd down and 7 with 2:14 remaining in the 3rd.
Talk about the quarterback position. Those quarterbacks, it hasn't been easy on them. They've been under duress all year. 52 sacks coming into today, the most in the NFL. The offensive line has actually played better as of late. These rookie tackles Potter and Massey have come in and actually stabilized the offensive line.
Well, Charles Tillman wanted to get back in. He's back at cornerback on 3rd and 7. And Hoyer goes down, and it's Julius Peppers with his 2nd sack of the game. Peppers now with 10.5 on the year. And a loss on the play of 7.
You watch Peppers. Just a straight edge rush and then the ability to close. That's what the great ones do. And Peppers is exactly that, a great one. And he can't wait for his buddy Henry Melton to come back. And pretty special defensive line these Chicago Bears have.
Well, Melton should be back next week, but it really will be critical for the Bears as Zastudil kicking and down on the 1-yard line. Down by the Cardinals, Devin Hester. And it was Justin Bethel, Michael Adams, both there. Good sack that time by Pepper.
Travis Humphrey with Task Force White Eagle and 5 guys in Afghanistan. Giving a shout out to the best football team in the NFL, the Bears.
Well, Major Humphrey's got to be delighted today with the Bears leading 28-6. But they're on their own 1. Great play by the Cardinals special teams. Armando Allen barely gets out of the end zone. Dan Williams was right there. Allen, of course, has been in running back. Matt Forte injured.
Really nice play by Dan Williams. He sheds the offensive lineman and darn near gets a safety. But back to the military. We wish them a Merry Christmas, and their sacrifice is so huge away from their families during the Christmas. We thank you and we salute you.
Where would we be without it? 2nd down and 10. Here's Allen. This time has some running room, enough to get past the 5. Allen was undrafted last year, hails from the Miami area, signed and cut by Tampa Bay, and he's been up and down with the Bears practice squad last year, but he's been on the varsity all year this time.
And right here, look, you got to convert the 3rd down, but if I'm Mike Tice, I'm trying to spread the football around. I'm trying to instill some confidence in a young kid like Alshon Jeffrey, because he'll prove invaluable if they do indeed get to the playoffs.
3rd and 5 from the end zone. Cutler lets it go and trying to get it to Brandon Marshall. So it's 4th down.
Been a physical matchup all day, as we told you it would be. Maybe a little extra contact. Well, that's all right. It goes on. 2 great players battling it out. They've both been frustrated at times, but an epic matchup. 2 of the best at what they do in this league.
Yeah, how busy has Patrick Peterson been? He's got to defend Marshall, and now he's got to return a kick. Standing in midfield, Adam Podlesh will be kicking from about 2 yards from the back of the end zone. But he gets good hang time. Fair catch because you want it on the 50. Now, the Cardinals have had opportunities in Bear territory, have not been able to capitalize. Well, no sleeves or sleeves? That is the question, John.
Well, Patrick Peterson has had a tough time hanging on to the football. You see the sleeves right there. 7 fumbles on the year, 3 that the opposing team has picked up. And I talked to Patrick Peterson. I've been saying it for weeks. You got to get rid of those sleeves. We asked him the other day, what do you think has been the problem with the fumbles? He said, I've got to get rid of these sleeves. And I knew it. Sometimes it just feels odd. I could never wear them. People thought I was trying to be a tough guy in cold weather. I just couldn't tackle or catch with them. Didn't do so hot without them.
Hoyer completes to Roberts. In fact, you saw him with the sleeves on in practice, and you're wondering what was he doing with them on.
In the pregame, I thought he duped us, and he went in and made the old switcheroo.
And that should be and will be the end of the 3rd quarter. The Chicago Bears have not allowed a touchdown. They lead the Cardinals 28-6, and Fox NFL Sunday will continue after a break from your local Fox station. Start of the 4th quarter, the Bears have 2 defensive touchdowns today, have limited the Cardinals to a pair of field goals. Dick Stockton, John Lynch, and Jennifer Hale. 2nd down and 4. Here's William Powell, and he's not going anywhere thanks to Nick Roach. For a game break, Patrick O'Neill.
Hey, Dick, well, the Minnesota Vikings won very easily today versus the Texans, and all eyes, of course, on all-day Adrian Peterson. Still needs 208 yards to pass Eric Dickerson to become the league's all-time single-season rushing leader. For the Vikes to make the playoffs, well, if the Giants lose today, they have to beat the Packers next Sunday, and they are in. Look at the NFC picture. Atlanta clinched home field, and Washington. Big win today, and what a matchup next week. Dick and John with the Cowboys for the Redskins.
All right, thank you very much, Patrick. And here is Fitzgerald with the catch and the 1st down going out of bounds, covered by Tillman. Fitzgerald with 6 catches and 95 yards. The story for the Bears. Now, when Minnesota won today, the Bears needed to win to stay alive, but a giant loss, and they're down 27-7 to Baltimore. Bears will make the playoffs with a win at Detroit, provided Green Bay beats Minnesota. So the Bears, of course, still need help, need to win their last 2 games, and looking like they're going to be successful here. Pass underneath to Powell.
How about that? The Bears fans need some help from their friends in Green Bay. It seems like Green Bay has been that nemesis that continues to hold them down, but now maybe they can help them out.
And you know, you get in as a 6th seed, and you know what? We saw that with the Giants last year, winning a Super Bowl. Just get in the tournament, and that has been a mantra for Lovie Smith this week.
Absolutely, and the defense playing like this, good things could happen. I think offensively they still have strides. If Matt Forte is hurt, that is a big blow to their chances.
2nd and 7. Hoyer's pass incomplete. Fitzgerald was the target, and it brings up 3rd and 7. Fitzgerald has 6 catches for 95 yards.
Another thing, though, you see Brandon Marshall with 5 catches, and the next most for the Bears today, Kellen Davis with 2 catches, and it's just been a problem. And you look at good teams in this league, the Denver Broncos, the Green Bay Packers, the Giants last year, they spread the football around, and that hasn't happened enough. The Atlanta Falcons are another team that does it. The good teams have multiple guys with 70-plus catches. The Bears have a lot of Brandon Marshall and not much else.
Marshall with 112. And the ball knocked away from behind and recovered by Hoyer, and it was Peppers who forced the fumble. He has 2 sacks as well.
Excuse me. They have Julius Peppers as well. And I tell you what, this defense can play some offense. We saw it early in the year. They come in bunches. It went away. But what a positive sign. And Julius Peppers been all over the field, as has Lance Briggs and Charles Tillman. Lovie Smith said it. Our stars got to play big today, and they sure have.
They sure have. Peppers with 3 sacks of the 4. And Zastadil kicking. Hester's going to let it drop, and it's down by the Cardinals. And Justin Bethel makes the play. So Hoyer, who's 6 for 9 for 70 yards, still in big gap deficit for the Cardinals. Bet you never saw Santa dance like that. What moves for Santa Claus? 1st and 10 on the 7-yard line. Jay Cutler all the way at quarterback, hands off to Khalil Bell. How would you like to be a youngster and you love Christmas, and you happen to be growing up in a place called Santa Claus, Indiana? Well, that's where Jay Cutler was born and grew up through his teens. And he said they had a festival of lights, and he says, you know, the mail that we get in Santa Claus, Indiana, for everyone who wants to write to Santa Claus. What a life for a young boy. And you know, the Cardinals also have a player where Christmas is a major factor as well. 2nd down and 9 from the 8-yard line. Early here in the 4th quarter. It's been the Bears all the way. Cutler running out of the end zone, and will run out of bounds and get the 1st down. Well, the Cardinals have a player. Talk about the Christmas holiday. That's Darren College, their left guard, who is from North Pole, Alaska. So in this game, right a couple of days from Christmas, we have a quarterback from Santa Claus, Indiana, and a guard from North Pole, Alaska. What irony, huh?
Santa Claus is winning today.
Right, and he can dance.
Yes.
They're the 2 Christmas players here. 1st and 10 at the 18. Khalil Bell, and Bell carries it out to the 23, picking up 5 yards. And for those who have just joined us, Matt Forte has had a good day, rushing over 7 yards per carry, shaken up, and had to leave the game.
Saw that right ankle get caught under the leg of Sam Acho, and Matt Forte has left the game and was walking gingerly as he did. Would be just a devastating loss to the Bears. We'll see. They need him back.
12 carries, 88 yards, and a 4-yard touchdown, plus a 36-yard run. 2nd and 5. Here's Bell. Bell will edge his way for 2 yards. Giants still trailing the Ravens 30-7. So the Giants' troubles continue in that NFC East race. Dallas lost in overtime to the Saints today, 34-31. But success for the Redskins over the Eagles, and a big one for the Vikings at Houston.
Dick, I think everybody else kept waiting for the Giants to make their run, and it looks like they won't do it this year.
They conclude against the Eagles next week on 3rd down and 3, lofting the pass to Alshon Jeffrey and covered by Toller downfield. So 4th down, and Podlesh will come in and punt once again.
You talk about one area where Jay Cutler and the Bears can improve. It's 3rd down. Only 2 of 10, 20% on the day to make some noise. First, they got to get to the playoffs, but let's say they do. To make some noise, you got to be more efficient on 3rd down.
Podlesh will kick from the 12. Longest punt return for Peterson, 31 yards this year. Has it at the 32, gives ground, and goes down at the 30. And a great effort group-wise by the likes of Peppers and Tillman and Briggs and company. Just under 10 minutes to go in the game. Bears leading 28-6. Brian Hoyer in relief. Ryan Lindley, 1st down at the 30. Hoyer gets time, and this pass intended for Fitzgerald is incomplete. Well, it's almost that time of the year again. America, TV's biggest phenomenon. American Idol is coming back for an all-new season of talent and surprises. New judges Mariah Carey, Keith Urban, and Nick Minaj join Randy Jackson and Ryan Seacrest on America's #1 show, American Idol. Premieres Wednesday, January 16th on Fox. Julius Peppers, 9th time in his career he's had a 3-sack game. Never has had more. He's not going to get any on the sideline for sure. 2nd down and 10. Pass thrown to Roberts underneath, and he is stopped 3 yards shy of the 1st down by Nick Roach.
You see the way, Dick, and we've seen it throughout the game. You're going to catch the ball, but here comes that defense, and boy, it's something awesome to watch. And you see opposing wide receivers, they think better about forging forward, and they get down in a hurry because this defense is a-coming.
And of course, also a-coming is Henry Melton. Perhaps they expect him next week in the finale against the Lions. They got Geno Hayes and Tim Jennings back this week, and Brian Urlacher hasn't practiced since December the 2nd. 3rd down and 3 for the Cardinals. Pass is caught by Fitzgerald, but he'll be short of the 1st down. There is just what you were talking about, the definitive tackles. Nick Roach that time.
Rod Marinelli talked about it. He said people think of blitzing as aggressive. We think of zone defense as aggressive. All eyes on the ball. The ball's thrown. Everyone breaks. It's an awesome thing when you get it going, and you know when you start seeing receivers get down as opposed to going for a 1st down, you've won half the battle psychologically.
So now it's 4th and 1 for the Cardinals on their own 39. Hoyer's pass, and 1st down Fitzgerald, and he fronted Tillman there and had position to make the catch. So Fitzgerald with a 16-yard here.
And much like Brandon Marshall on the other side, you're talking about a big man in Larry Fitzgerald, 6'3", 220 pounds, and a tremendous athlete. Those are 2 great players. We've seen the matchup on the other side. This has been a tremendous matchup as well. Larry Fitzgerald going up against Charles Tillman.
And he goes over 100, has 113 yards to go along with his 8 catches. 1st down, and the pass thrown underneath to Jim Dre for a minimal gain. 3rd time this season that Larry Fitzgerald has gone over 100 yards, and with a quarterback who would have been the likes of some of the better ones in the league, it would have been a lot more than 3. Second down and 7 on the Bears 44. Quick one and trying to get it to Floyd, but off the mark.
That's an example of a rookie wide receiver, but also a new quarterback, and they just don't have the chemistry yet. Hoyer doesn't know where Michael Floyd's going to be. Michael Floyd doesn't know exactly the timing that Hoyer throws the football with, and that's the struggles you go through with a new quarterback throwing to a young wide receiver.
3rd and 7. Hoyer's pass incomplete, intended for Roberts. And covering was Kelvin Hayden, the nickel back, and it's 4th down. And you know the Bears would love to win this game and hold the Cardinals from getting in the end zone.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a source of pride whenever you're playing defense, to be able to keep an opposing offense out of the field. And there's Dave Zastadil, who set a record early today for punts inside the 20. I think a dubious honor. That means you're punting way too much as a football team.
Hester standing at the 10. And Hester at the 9. And he is tackled from behind by Justin Bethel. It's been a long day for the Arizona Cardinals on both sides of the ball. 28-6 Bears, under 7 to play. Well, the roof is open. That was good for the Bears today. Not so much for the Cardinals. Those are Jay Cutler's numbers. Starting from the 20-yard line, and Khalil Bowe carries for a couple of yards. Well, the story in the NFC East today, the Redskins now won 6 in a row, and they have the lead in the division. They beat the Eagles. Dallas lost in overtime at home to the Saints, and the Giants are getting plastered on the road in Baltimore, 33-7. So Redskins finish with Dallas next week, and the Giants are home with Philadelphia. Redskins will be home to the Cowboys.
Terrific job by Mike Shanahan pulling that team together. Their defense was porous early in the year. Jim Haslett has done a tremendous job bringing that group along.
2nd down and 6. Pass is caught by Brandon Marshall, and down he goes 2 yards shy of the 1st down. Marshall with 6 catches on the day. And of course Seattle, very quietly, 9-5 on the year. They have 2 home games, but a big one tonight against the San Francisco 49ers. Colin Kaepernick, after the 49ers went east to play the Patriots and held on to win this game.
And I'll tell you this, we're talking to Larry Fitzgerald the other day, and just talking about playoffs, and he said, let me tell you this, if Seattle gets in and they can host a game, no one's going up there and winning a game. He believes in them so much. It's so loud up there. Difficult place to play, and as you mentioned earlier, the Seahawks are really clicking on all cylinders.
They certainly are, and the handoff to Khalil Bell. Meanwhile, these Bears will still have to win next week. They need help as well. They need Green Bay to beat Minnesota. We talked about needing the Packers to help you, but they go to the Lions, who are only 2-5 at home. So the Bears could have it set up to at least do their part.
A tremendously disappointing season for the Detroit Lions. You got Calvin Johnson, who beat Jerry Rice's record, but now he's motivated to try to go get 2,000 yards. So the Bears will have their work cut out for them. A talented Detroit team that has been a big disappointment. All the Bears can do is worry about their business. And generally, when you take care of that, the other things fall into place for you.
Well, you know, it would make the Lions' season to knock the Bears out. But the Bears coming back in form here as Peterson calls for the fair catch. 4:33 to go in the game. The Bears headed for 9-6. And welcome back to Arizona, quiet Arizona. Good contingent of Bears fans, but even though they know this game is salted away, just taking in the last 4:33. 1st down and 10. Brian Hoyer, former Patriot and Steeler, starting from the 29, and the pass caught by Floyd, and the Bears don't let him get the 1st down. Picks up 9. Hoyer has completed 11 of 17 for 105 yards. Ryan Lindley 17 of 31 and an interception. And that was run in for a touchdown. 2nd down and 1. Hoyer's pass is intercepted, and it's Kelvin Hayden. Hayden with blocking down the sideline and finally goes down. Another turnover, and the Bears feasting on it today. It's been a long while for them, but they've come back strong.
There's Kelvin Hayden. Lovie Smith said, not only getting Tim Jennings back, do we get a great player? Kelvin Hayden gets to slide back into his nickel position, and he makes the most of it. Another turnover for this Bears defense that needed the takeaways, and they've got them today.
First interception of the year for Hayden. Thrown right in front of Fitzgerald, and now the Bears. You can hear the Bear fans.
Let's go Bears, they're saying here in Arizona.
First and goal from the 10. Here's Khalil Bell, and Bell picking up 1 yard. Well, the defensive touchdowns, and it started with the first score of the game when Zach Bowman. Actually, Beanie Wells wasn't even hit, and Bowman scored, and then the pick 6 with Tillman.
Tillman, his 3rd touchdown of the year. The Bears got exactly what they needed. This is the recipe for success. They didn't disappoint today. Tillman, Bowman, now Kelvin Hayden. He get in the end zone, but got another turnover. 3 takeaways led to 14 points, and we'll see what they can do with this latest one by Kelvin Hayden.
Well, the Bears needed a decisive win to turn their fortunes around from 3 straight losses in 5 of their last 6, and they have gotten it today. 2nd down and goal, and here is Bell, and Bell gets to the 6-yard line.
Right, you look at this graphic, and we've been without graphics much of the day, so we got to do less with more. So I'm going to try to help it out a little bit. Here we go, last 6 games. Let's go to 7. Well, that's not a good 7, not up to a good start. It's better. We got 2 defensive touchdowns, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say they win the game 2 and 5 in their last 7. There you go. Whatever it adds up to, good job by the Chicago Bears.
Who needs graphics when we have John Lynch on the telestrator?
That shows why I got sent to handwriting school as a youngster.
Handwriting's on the wall. 3rd down and goal from the 6-yard line. The pitch to Khalil Bell. Bell gets down to the 3, and it was Darrell Washington preventing Bell from getting into the end zone.
We've been showing you great linebacker play by Lance Briggs all day. I have so much fun watching this guy right there play football. Look at him go in and out of the traffic and the close. An outstanding football player is Darrell Washington, having a great year for the Arizona Cardinals.
2-minute warning here in Arizona. We'll be back. Olindo Mare with 2 minutes to go will try a 20-yard field goal. Blocked and picked up and run by Justin Bethel. Bethel down the sideline, and he's going to get in for the touchdown. It was blocked by Adrian Wilson, and Justin Bethel, the rookie from Presbyterian, runs it in. So the Bears do allow a touchdown, but it comes on special teams. And just a little something to cheer for the Cardinal fans here.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what Lovie Smith and the Chicago Bears are going to be working on this week is special teams. You've seen the muff punts that have gone the way of the Arizona Cardinals. Another one that the Bears recovered, but
82 yards.
You see Adrian Wilson going to come in that gap, get his hands out. He's done this before. I've seen it. And Bethel picks up the ball in pure speed, taking it to the end zone. Nice escort from Patrick Peterson.
82-yard scamper, and Jay Feely with the extra point. And it's 28-13, so something for the Cardinals to smile about in the waning minutes of this game. 1:46 remaining. Fox Sports is proud to partner with the Children's Organ Transplant Association during our NFL on Fox coverage. CODA is giving hope and making miracles for families whose children are facing transplants. And to help change a child's life, please visit coda.org/Fox Sports. Let's get a report from Jen.
Well, Dick, if you'll notice on the players' helmets, pins on officials' jackets, and on the hats of coaches, you'll notice SHES, 4 initials. That is, of course, in memory and in honor of the victims in Connecticut and that horrible tragedy that unfolded. I know our hearts, prayers, and thoughts are with all of them there, as are pretty much everyone's across the NFLs this holiday season.
Well, it's a season for giving. There's no question about it, and there's a lot to give for. And we're glad to be partnered with the charities in all of the sports at Fox Sports and all of the different sports that Fox telecasts. Different charities are involved in them.
Absolutely, and a nice gesture by the league to try to do something for the folks from Sandy Hook Elementary and people from Newtown, Connecticut.
There's the onside kick. Alshon Jeffrey got a hand on it and kept possession. And the Bears will have it at the 45-yard line. So, last week was a big game for the Bears. They knew if they beat Green Bay, they would, have the destiny in their own hands. They lost the division, need help. Minnesota won today. So the Bears, impressive today, must go on and win and hope Green Bay wins at Minnesota next week.
Yeah, and when you talk about the Bears winning, a sterling effort defensively. Everything you'd want. They get Melton back next week. Things are looking good. Offensively, you'd still like to see some more distribution. Somebody other than Brandon Marshall. And now Matt Forte banged up. That could be tough for the Chicago Bears moving forward. And plenty, as we saw, on special teams to work on for the Chicago Bears this week.
First down at the 45. Khalil Bell with a couple. Well, on January 4th, one of the best bowl games of the year is on Fox. Heisman Trophy winner and one of the most talked about players in the country, Johnny Manziel, leads the 9th-ranked Texas A&M against the 11th-ranked Oklahoma Sooners. The AT&T Cotton Bowl Classic, January 4th, only on Fox. Cardinals call their first timeout. Brandon Marshall with 6 catches, 68 yards, and a touchdown. But a 30-yard reception early to set up the first offensive score for the Bears was critical here. Cutler, 12 of 26, 146 yards and a touchdown. Bell gets inside the 40. And the Cardinals will use their second timeout. Giants are losing 33-14 with 2 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. And with that loss, the game between the Cowboys and the Redskins next week will be for the NFC East title. So these great rivals going at it with the best meaning you could possibly have on the last day of the regular season. I want to remind you, the Lowe's OT will be coming up after our game, and we'll give you the rundown on all of the playoff picture. Brian Urlacher itching to get back into action. 3rd down and 4. Here's Bell and Khalil Bell, and he'll get enough for the first down. Kerry Rhodes ran him there, and the clock continues to run with under a minute and a half.
Nice effort by Khalil Bell. Khalil Bell was going to be their short yards back coming in today with Bush hurt. But back to Brian Urlacher. Lovie Smith did tell us if they're fortunate enough to make the playoffs, Brian Urlacher will be ready. He's got a hamstring. They don't want to rush it. But if they are able to make those playoffs, Brian Urlacher will be there. And what a presence he is in the middle for the Chicago Bears.
I was impressed with the way Lovie Smith just was stable in what the Bears had to do. And the one thing about him, there's never been any pomposity about Lovie Smith. He has never been advertising wins or anything. He has been a class act all the way, and a terrific coach for the Chicago Bears with A half a minute remaining in the game. Game in which the defenses and special teams outscored the offenses here. And the Bears will win and go 9-6. The Cardinals 5-10. So for John Lynch and Jennifer Hale, Dick Stockton saying so long. We now take you to the conclusion of the Giants and the Ravens.